Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. We got something a little different for you today. We tried to do had a planned trip to go down the beach, but southeast winds were a little tough and had high tides to the sand dunes, so we changed it up. We adapted our plans and we did a little fishing out of the kayaks in Copano Bay where we could find some protected water. So stick around, check it out. We'll show you what we did and how we did. And you can see Copano Bay and the red dot in the middle there. North Corpus, southwest of Houston, southeast of San Antonio, right on the Gulf Coast. Zoom in, show you exactly where we were going. We were fishing Copano from the Ranges Bay to the east. We were fishing this little slough here because we could, with a southeast wind coming from 45-degree angle across here, we could get up in here and get some protected water, and also in here and along this shoreline. So take an overview of what we're looking for, a little closer view of where we're going to be fishing. We picked those target areas, and then this is the first little area called Port Bay, which is that slough we were talking about. It's just a little finger off of Copano Bay. And fellas out there wade fishing, and you can see that you can hear the wind in the background. Shrimp farm in the distance there. But because we're kind of up against the leeward shore, we're getting a little protection from the wind, and we can still fish out of our kayaks without worrying about getting swamped by the waves. And we're using Wilderness Systems kayaks. And out trying to see what we can catch. And there's Port Bay. You see that it's kind of a sand flats with some scattered grass pockets, and then off to the right that little protected drain with some channels. And little Berkeley gulp and some good old dead shrimp. You can see the dark spots there are sand, well, not sand, excuse me, grass beds, and the lighter colored areas are the sand pockets in between. And shrimp and bait fish are up in the grass, and predators are cruising the edges there in those sand pockets. And yeah, you can still hear the wind, but as you can see, it's not too bad on the leeward side here. Oh, yep, and we catch some fish. Unfortunately, not quite big enough for me. I guess I was destined to catch all the youngsters. So these are black drum, got to be 14 inches, and that one's not gonna make it. Another undersized black drum, maybe 10 inches, maybe 80 inches, nah, maybe 10, but they gotta be 14, so he gets to go back, but they're fun to catch. Yeah, there's a few that did make it, just barely. Yeah, we had a little extra on the grill that night. Man, we get done fishing, we got stuffed pork chops, corn on the cob, and we got redfish throats and redfish rib cages for appetizers, mesquite coals, sitting here on the canal. Then the next day we decided to target this area called Rattlesnake Point, and on the backside in this drain here you can see I was fishing the oyster reef, and Ken, my buddy there, loading up his Wilderness Ride 135, he fished up in those grass beds and those cuts and channels, and he caught bigger fish than me and more fish than me. I caught a lot of little fish off that oyster bed until as you see later, the porpoises show up. Little bitty black girl. ruler with me. That's pretty close to 14, but you know what? Since I don't have a ruler and I'm not for sure, I'm gonna turn him loose. Yeah, there's a sailboat on the other side of that Rattlesnake Point. We're on this side, out of the wind best we can. You see Ken back there, he's back up in the grass and the islands and the cuts and a lot more protected than where I'm at. And here I am catching my baby drum again. He's close, but I don't think he's quite 14. I went off and forgot my measuring tape, my measuring board, and so just to be safe, I turned them all loose. And everything was going good until these guys show up. Once these guys show up, fishing kind of shuts down because they are after the same fish I'm after. And so the black drum, redfish, they all scattered. You know, it's pretty much the end of my day. Well, they were fun to watch, but yeah, that was the fishing pretty kind of shut off after these guys showed up. That's all right. I had a good time. Caught a few fish. I caught a lot of fish, just didn't catch many keepers. Ken did it better than me. He caught a few keepers and enough to eat and enough to take home. But the important thing is we took what wasn't ideal weather conditions and we made a fishing trip out of it. We were able to change up our game plan, pick some new areas and new techniques, and still find fish. So instead of staying home and whining about the weather, we got out and caught some fish and had a damn good time doing it. And there you go, the end of the day on Copano Bay. That's Rattlesnake Point Road. And in the distance you can see those palm trees. That's out where I was fishing. And the sun's setting in the west. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for more, and if you like, share, and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. That's the name of the game. Till then, good luck and good fishing, hunting, hiking, whatever you choose to do outdoors. Just leave it cleaner than you found it, please.